Hello everyone, it's really good to see you here. So today we are going to talk about the very hot topic and that is ChatGPT. So as you all know that you all have heard about it like ChatGPT, like in now the times it is everywhere. So in today's video we are going to see like how we can actually use this very amazing tool for our works, right? So first of all, you have to do certain process to log in to the newer version of the chat gpt, and that video is already up. So firstly go and log into chat gpt, then come here to find out what are the utilities of using this chat gpt tool. So here we are going to just play with some of the question to find out how it actually works. So firstly, the very simple thing is that ChatGPT is an AI tool which has certain information or data regarding all the things, and using that data, it actually helps us to give information about the questions or the queries we are putting in. So this is the overall working. So now let's try some of the questions. So first question is that, so here I guess all of you are a very hard coding enthusiast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply write a question or a query, like write a C++ code which can add two numbers. So you have to just put your question here and then click enter. So once you click enter, you can see that here it just started generating the response. So firstly, what you have to include, like you have to include the IOStream library, and then you have to like see in two numbers, and then sum is this. So it's a very cool thing, right? And you are getting a very descriptive way of writing the code, and I guess it is a very useful takeaway which we can take from this code is that everything is so precise, like enter the first number, enter the second number, and then sum is basically the sum of num1 and num2. So the placing of words, which is very like whatever the variable you are taking, the naming of that variable is very useful once you are being in an interview, right? And in that interview question, if something like, if there is something, you have to write the variable name in a certain way. So you can learn that from here, and you can see that the cout is very simple, like the sum of number 1 and num2 is basically this sum. So this is a very cool thing, right? So now we got this. So using this, you can just write so many different codes or whatever the problem you are stuck with. Like most of the time when we are coding, we are actually have something in our mind, like how we can add this, how we can actually use or split two numbers, or in python mostly it happens like how we can split this this string into some array or vector, something like that. So these simple tool can be find out using or typing your query here. So it's very useful for all the coding enthusiasts. So please do try it. Now the second question is that what is a black hole, right? So a black hole, it's just a normal question, right? So I just wanted to dig a bit more about what it is and how it actually works. So that's why I'm putting different domains of questions so that it can be very helpful for each and every of you. So you can see that every type of question, either it is related to science, math, your any subjects, your coding related question, all the queries should be very properly put it in your screen. So this is how you can stop generating once you find out that you have enough answers, right? Now, also you can find out like how you can start an open source contribution journey. So here there are some steps that can be followed to get through like how we can actually do open source contribution. And you can see that, yeah, popular platforms like GitHub or GitLab is used for open source contribution, and small tasks are being like given. Like you can start with small tasks, and then you can actually like just go through like whatever the different information given here and start your open source journey. But one thing to be noted, that I will be in future going to start a new uh, like playlist regarding open source development and all. So don't worry about it. You will got everything there. You have to just subscribe to get or be in touch with me. Okay, now one very interesting thing which I'm going to show you here. So this is, it's just a book. It's a very interesting book. I recommend you all to read it. So I'm just, putting the book summary of the book Secret, The Secret. So you can see that it just started. It already knows like what the book is, right? So it just started giving you a bit of summary, like how we can actually, what are the different key elements that is present in this book. Now I am just, I had just stopped generation of extra responses here. And the thing I wanted to tell you that we have firstly written the book summary of The Secret. Now the second question is, I'm not mentioning here like, my question is simple, like who is the author of the book. Now I'm not mentioning which book, right? But let's see what it responds. The Secret, Rhonda Bond. So you can see that it has a bit of memorization technique that has been used in this book. So firstly, I had find out, like I have find the summary of the book. After that, I didn't write about which book, but I only wanted to know like who is the author of the book, and it just gave us the answer. Now, very interesting thing. So let's play with this. So what I'm now gonna do is I'm gonna put this question. So I had just break this book thing, right? And I had just written like I want some 10 Instagram captions, like, so I had just written a bit of description of trip in Manali with friends. So you can see that it started. So you can write 10, 20, or so many, what, like the way you want your trip or the way your trip goes. You can write that experience or the summary of that experience, and you will able to get a very cool Instagram captions. So it is helpful for that also. Now remember, we are firstly on the book part. After that we find out who is the author of the book. Now let's see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just write what are the five takeaways, a takeaway lesson from the book. Here again also I'm not talking about which book, but you can see that once it starts generating the response, it is about The Secret book only, because it has only one book that is present inside its memory till now, and whatever the question which is related to the book, it is giving the response. So if you mention the specific book, it will give you the, like it will give you the answer regarding that. But if it didn't mention whatever the previous book you have actually written, it's going to work on that only. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna twist this question. So instead of The Secret book, I had just write the book summary of The Martin. It's a very interesting book. You can read it. It is just a journey of, it's a science fiction novel. So it's a journey of a man who got stuck in the Mars and how he got survived there. So it's a very interesting book. Now once we uh, once we got the summary, again I'm doing this. What are the five take away lessons from the book? So here, firstly, it has given for The Secret book. Now you can see that now it is going to give lessons from The Martin book. So it's just as simple like in Python. Most of you are aware that whenever you are assigned an integer x, and again if you reassign that one, so whatever the latest one, that would be considered as our final answer. So let's suppose you have put x equals to 5 earlier, and later in the code you just, in somewhere you just write x as 10. So 10 should be taken in the final consideration. So this is how it also works. Whatever it has in the memory, it just give you information regarding the same. And once you like over like if you just give over information or another information, here I'm talking about the books. Firstly I had given The Secret book, after that I had changed it to The Martin. So regarding that, it start giving the information. So it's a very useful tool. And one more thing, like it is just about the simple things which you can keep in your mind, but one very important thing that can be done here is that if you have written a code which has more than 200 lines or something, it just got stopped in between. To continue this, you have to just continue or regenerate the information or response, or continue generating the response. Using that button, you can actually have the whole code for your program. So this is the overall view of how we can use this very amazing chat gpt. Like, I am very impressed with this tool, and I guess it is going to be more cooler in the coming future. So yeah, this is all about it. And the only thing which I want you to do is that please do subscribe to the channel, and also like and share to your friends, because it's a very helpful tool, and we all grow together, right? So it's very useful that we share resources to our friends. So yeah, this is it. And it's just a button, just click here, it's okay. Okay, so here we come to the end of the video, and it's very uh, it's very interesting. uh, it is a very interesting tool actually, so do try it. And thanks for watching. See you soon.